inspecting about 10 or 12 schools today. The change in what kids understand, like, is the environment out there, you know? No, the environment is right here, right where we are right now. But just that shift in perspective, the environment is where you are. It isn't out there somewhere. And energy is where you are. It's not just if you're in a heated, lighted room. You got energy all around you. Walk me through the steps from the sun to the hamburger. Grass, okay?
Cow.
So now we got plants and a cow. How are we going to get here? Slaughterhouse.
Some transportation.
Refrigeration. Okay, so we're going to take it to the Golden Arches. Okay, so we got like the sun, and then we got 2 streams, right? So we need 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people. Does anybody know what the efficiency of photosynthesis is? Do you know, Karen?
No.
It's like 2 or 3%. Have the grain processing going here. Okay, pass it down. Okay, we're going through all the steps. There you go. And Sophia. Now, what do you notice happened when they passed the oatmeal? Some of it fell. What does that tell you about energy?
You lose
some.
You lose some. And where is the loss?
The transfer.
In the transfer. Okay, the 2 points are that you have to transform energy in order for it to be useful to you, and every time you transform it, you lose some.
Let's just look around the room and figure out ways that we could save energy.
Exactly what they're doing, you control the amount of light that enters the room.
And then what do you do in the summertime?
Close the blinds.
Close them so that there's no heat gains.
But they have dimmers on, see? You can turn them down. They should be off, really, if nobody's using the building.
Yeah, right.
Which direction is this?
That's kind of southeast.
Southeast, that's out
East,
there, sort
yeah.
of like southeast. And this is
Well,
southwest
certainly got
over
enough
here.
to shade it during the summertime.
During the summer.
So it gets
Yeah.
a lot of
So let's talk about what happened.
I can't wait to go back to the school. We found a lot of stuff. The doors, they have drafts. The library, we found leaks in the ceiling. We also thought that some of the windows needed to be recaulked.
They pointed out the windows, some of the windows were single pane windows as opposed to double pane windows.
The roofs, the ceilings don't seem to be insulated. And also you could see watermarks where the rain came through the nail hole, so probably not much foam there.
So we're going to actually create a lesson plan tied to this activity.
But we have to present today also.
Right.
What we can do is measure the amount of light we have here and see if it meets the criteria. At table 1,
55.
it was 55. Yeah. The essential question was, how does lighting affect energy? We measured the lighting. And we all know that lighting is measured in foot candles. So we took our new toy, our foot candle meter, and at table 1, we measured 55 foot candles, and then we remeasured to check our hypothesis to see what happened. And we started to brainstorm and think a little bit. The hypothesis then became that they could go back and turn off half their lights in the classroom, and it would probably be an effective, efficient use of energy.
Well, you're going for it all right.
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Let's go.
good. So we did a walk around the building and to try to figure out how the plannings around the building affected the building in the use of energy, whether it made it efficient or less efficient.
The 3 strands. Here's instruction, here's action, and here's school involvement. So you want to probably think about action first. What are the different ways that my kids could take one kind of look at saving energy, like they're going to survey the building, and then another kind of look, like I want them to do some writing with this, okay? And then another kind of thing, I want them to communicate, I want them to work on their speaking skills. Area of concern farther into the school. So that's the involvement piece, how it gets from here out. When you've got your kids walking around saying, we want to turn these lights off, here are lessons that say, okay, now what's the effect? How much is that going to save? Where is your electricity coming from? How much fuel goes in the plant versus how much light you get out of the bulb? Did you have a question, Mary?
We teach this all the time for
The Sat-9 test has the same picture.
Yahoo!
Just about Sat-9, and they have to write about this.
Cool. The lesson in here that's called a home energy audit, it's an excellent lesson. I like to concentrate on social studies and language arts because there's so many times people think, it's science and math, it goes over there, it has nothing to do with me. But in fact, you can get your language arts and you can get your social studies right out of this.
End of the month.
Yeah, I did the last
Go from June to our final goal.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to. So what are you thinking?
Now, do we want Lux?
Well, so, and are the things like you really need the thermometers?
Yes.
In January, the instruction, Life Without Electricity, and that's actually a social studies lesson. And it gets the kids thinking about what would life be without electricity. My action or behavior would be to actually introduce or calculate energy consumption with incandescent and compare it to energy efficient lamps. We're actually going to calculate the savings.
Our central question is how can we change the way we use electricity to be more energy efficient? In January, we said we're going to start with a data collection. We're going to create a display in the main hallway, displaying the surveys and the graphs that the children create. And we're hoping that we'll have a visit from the green schools.
Sharing with other schools in our area that aren't associated with the Green School program. Having the young kids go to the older kids, because there's that much more of an impact. Well, if that little kid can do it, hey, we can do it, you know.
In January, the instruction would be to give out KWLH chart to all of the advisory. In the mornings, we have to read between 8:30 and 9:02, silent reading. So I figured this is a good chance for teachers to give out the chart and to go over it at that time.
We're going to do this whole thing about it's not easy being green. And it takes work to be an energy saver. We'll have an energy club so that we'll have energy savers. We're going to get them, I guess, green hats and badges and shirts and all this stuff because they'll feel very important if they have some kind of thing to wear.
How can we make our classroom more energy efficient? We can do lessons from the unit. There's a unit measuring energy and also energy use and energy transformation. Well, January we'll be using the tools. We'll be creating graphs, website. We can do a newsletter. We're going to have to make a lot of presentation.
To perhaps an English class, they could get together, play. They could do persuasive writing, articles in the paper. Also, they might be able to create a board game. Around the school, what might be a motivator too for the kids is if they could track previous energy outlay and money and what we might save.